Good evening. My name is Muhammad Rafli Abdullah from Framework-Based Programming Class I, year 25-26, and I'm here to demonstrate my project, which is AnarchySNS. So this is basically a forum board where you can post. However, the main thing here is that there is no user, so you manually enter your username here, so it's anonymous, and there's also no trace of you actually posting that. And then there is also this delete button on every single post, and you can enter the identifier. So the backend will have a list of identifiers randomly generated, which is binary hex, and currently I have 1000 identifier. So when you create a new post, it will randomly assign an identifier, and this identifier will be used to delete this post. So the idea is that since it is anonymous and you can insert any username and anyone can delete anyone's post, it will be chaotic. So you can impersonate, you can delete the trace of someone's timeline, etc., etc. It's basically just that. So for this demonstration, I'm gonna create a new post. So let's say test from roughly and my username. So if it's correct, okay, so it's gonna be posted successfully. We'll have this message here, and you can see that it is on the top of the timeline. So if I want to delete, so I cannot actually, I don't actually know. When you create a new post, you don't actually know the identifier. So even if you are the original poster, you will not be able to easily delete your own posts. So here I'm gonna cheat a bit and just see my database for the SNS. So that is post from roughly. So we have here our identifier ID. So when you try to delete and input the wrong identifier, it will be incorrect here. And then if you do, and it will be deleted. And in the database, if you refresh, it's also be deleted. Okay, that's about the how this works. So now I'm gonna explain my code. So first of all, we have two models, identifier, and then also SNS. SNS here refers to the posts. So for SNS, we have the post itself, the username, and then a foreign key identifier ID. So identifier is not unique. So it is many to one relationship where posts, where identifier can have many posts. This is so that when someone maybe botting the deletion process, trying to brute force with each entry identifier, they cannot simply just delete the one that is already been used. So maybe like there's like, for us, on some chance there will be 100 posts with the same identifier. Yeah, just something like that. And then we also have identifier. So identifier only has one object, which is the ID itself. So I set the incrementing to false because I don't want it to be actual. I don't want it to be automatic. So when this an identifier is booted or already created, it will have this function run. Basically, this is just getting binary to hex. So it's just a 32 length binary to hex. And then of course this this identifier has many SNS. Okay, so next we have the controller. Alright, I'm gonna go to identifier factory first. Okay, so for the factory, identifier, since it already has been automated in the model itself, I just simply return nothing. For SNS, I am using Faker. So post is using real text with 250 character limit, and then fake username, and the identifier will be in random order. So the ID is just random. Okay, so now we have create SNS table, the same as before. ID timestamp, and then text. Oh wait, sorry, yeah. Post is a text, username is a string, and identifier ID is a foreign key to identifier. And then on identifier, we only have character, which is ID, and then length is 64, which is the primary key. Okay, that's it. And then we have the seeder. So for identifier seeder, we create 1,000 of them, and database seeder, oh sorry, SNS seeder, we also have 1,000 of them. Okay, so let's go to the controller. So in this controller, we have a home view, which just returns the index, and then about, which is this page, this blade view, and then indexing will return the SNS, the posts. So it's paginated for a 10 per page. List is the list of identifier here, and then show. Show just load the identifier. It's actually nothing. It's a scrap from my Ninja network because I used that as a template for this one. So this doesn't actually do anything. I just forgot to remove it. Okay, so this is the create page. So for this create, identifier all is also not needed because we don't specify the identifier. It's just a scrap data that I haven't removed. And then for storing the models, we have post required, and then username has some restriction. So there's a minimum of 3 characters and maximum of 50 characters, and there's also need to be a string, which is automatically be string. So identifier. So when someone created a new post here, instead of from factory, identifier is assigned from this controller. So basically, it's the same. So identifier is just identifier in random order. It fetches from the database. If there is no identifier, so for example, I go migrate fresh without seeding. So for example, okay, so there's nothing here, and there's nothing here in identifier list. So if we create a post here, oh, username. Yeah, so we have one here, and then identifier will be newly created. But this is only if there's no identifier at all. So if I create a new post, it will have the same identifier as the previous one, as it is already there. So this doesn't count. And then this is validation, and then we create and redirect the routing back to home. And then this is the destroy function. So we have a request directly from index.php. So this request has an input of identifier as we can see here. This is the identifier. So it will check if the identifier is the same as the post identifier ID. If it is, we delete and redirect back to home. If it's not, we redirect back, send a failed message. So this is the redirection for a failed message, and this is for success message. And then yeah, so we have the routing here. So the home is index, and then we have create here. Store is also on here. uh, you have list get, which I'm pretty sure this is not used. Oh, sorry. This is for each of the posts. And then an about page. This is so this is show. This is just leftover, and this is to destroy the delete the post. Okay, so the rest is just some normal PHP. So this is for creating new post. This is label for post, and then have an alt. So if you uh, like forgot, like okay, yeah, so it will retain the previous one. So username, this one also has an old key, and then we have the submit button, which just says post, and this is error, the error message here. And then we have the index, which is the homepage. Let me seed. So there's going to be something to be shown. Okay, so on index, we have a bunch of manual CSS here because not here. So just for each SNS as post, so this I have this topper, so to get the substring for the first as an avatar, quote unquote. So yeah, N Nayeli and Halvorson E Tracy T, because length is just one. If I change into two, it will be the first two characters and so on. And then this is for the timestamp. So credit, because we already have credit at by default on the post, we just simply call this diff for human. And then we have this delete button, which gonna trigger JavaScript so that it will show this, so that each post is not redundantly have every thing like this, because not everyone wants to delete. And then yeah, this is the, so when the action is going to be calling the SNS destroy, the parameter being the post itself, and then this will send identifier back to the controller to process it, whether or not it is correct. Okay, now this is list, which is just calling for each identifier. Just go get the ID, and then about, yeah, this is just about page, and the welcome is default. I think there is no, yeah, okay. And yeah, that's basically it for my presentation on this application that I made for the midterms. Thank you very much.